Shalom, shalom, all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Bahasham, Racha, Kwadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone, and salutations to all you sincere Akim. Play.
Somebody help me answer this question. So we all know Lucifer fell from heaven with a third of the angels. And we also know that there are demonic spirits everywhere tempting us and encouraging us to do evil things. There are many times in the Bible where Jesus had to cast out demons from people. But in the book of Jude and in the book of 2 Peter, it says that there are angels kept in eternal chains and gloomy darkness until the judgment of the great day. So my question is, if those angels are in gloomy darkness, what are these demons and unclean spirits from? Because we know that Satan isn't locked up yet, because he roams to and fro on the earth according to the Bible. So is there a separate group of angels that are in prison, but some of them aren't? Or are the demons that we see and hear about just the evil spirits from the Nephilim/giants from long ago? This is
And this is why you have people living, walkie-talkie plantation Christianity, okay? And this is why you have all these individuals out here, all these people out here, whenever they want to try and deny the truth that is in the scriptures. They always use the ridiculous idea that the Bible has contradictions in it, and this is the reason why. Because these Christians, they go completely off. Okay, they go completely off, and they bring out all this madness and all these false doctrines and philosophies, because everything that he just said, everything I just mentioned, every word that he spoke was folly, it was a lie. Okay, it was not the truth. You are going into Lucifer falling from heaven. That's not going into a fallen angel. There is no, and let's make this very clear right now, there is no such thing as a fallen angel. Okay, so I'm going to go through his entire argument and just break it down one by one, and just to make sure that I don't forget anyone or make any mistake in anything that he said. I'm going to play the video again and then answer each of his questions one by one through the spirit, and through the spirit once again. Hopefully it is edifying, and hopefully if this guy that is saying all these things to this video, he can feel he can get some understanding, and he can bring out some edification to the flock. Okay, so let's play it.
question, and I don't know. I actually want you guys to tell me. Somebody help me answer this question.
And the funny thing is that if the men of the Lord actually gave the answer, then it's going to start. They're going to start spewing these nonsense that these Christians usually do. Oh, that's not the correct answer. That's not biblical. That's not scriptural. This and that. We're telling him the truth, okay? Because this is what Christianity does. That's turned the scriptures into a contradiction because they do not understand the Bible, okay? Because the Spirit isn't on them to actually understand what is written in the scriptures. So then they bring out this folly, this madness, these doctrines of men, okay? These vain and false imaginations, all right? That's how they'll be telling you in the church that the law, Lucifer was the number one choir master in heaven, and that kind of nonsense that, oh, he rebelled against God because he wanted to be just like God, okay? So then God sent him down, and the fallen angels also went down. So let's just get this let's just go into it.
So we all know Lucifer fell from heaven with a third of the angels.
First and foremost, okay, when it speaks about Lucifer, let's go to that. That's in the book of Isaiah, the 14th chapter, and also in the book of Jeremiah, okay. That's Lucifer, the son of the morning. And also when the scriptures say, I beheld Lucifer fall from heaven as lightning. All right, so I think that is where we'll start with. So we'll get some precepts real quick. All right, let's do that. Let's get some precepts going into that. Okay, so we'll start from we should already know, start from Isaiah the 14th chapter. And we've gone into this so many times, Isaiah 14, Ezekiel 28. It's not going into a spiritual demon, okay? It's not going into the spiritual demon Satan. It's going into Esau, Edom, the devil that is on the earth today. So now we'll get that. So now let me jump down to the point where it speaks about Lucifer. Okay, here it is. So this is the book of Isaiah 14 and from verse 12. Isaiah 14 verse 12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? Okay, and that's as you are reading there, you are seeing the characteristics of Lucifer. You are seeing his wickedness, his iniquity against Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, and even more so, the wickedness that he had done against the nations. So now it's telling you that Lucifer had weakened the nations. And when he speaks about the nations here, he's speaking about the 14 nations that were created by Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, the 14 nations that were given their land by Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, and not the over 160 something nations that you have here on the earth today. Today, we're speaking about the ancient nations that were made from the time of Genesis. You go to the book of Genesis, the 10th chapter, and you can see the table of nations right there. So that's exactly what this is going into. And when it speaks about Lucifer, yeah, it's speaking about the false, and because that's basically what that word Lucifer is going into, the light bearer. Okay. And let me just get this word Lucifer in the scripture. I believe the word there is halal. So let's get that. Here it is in the Hebrew. Okay, Hayalal, not even halal. But yeah, Hayalal. And see, and right here, Lucifer, light bearer, shining one, morning star, Lucifer, of the king of Babylon and Satan. Halal describing the king of Babylon. So even in the blue letter, it's clearly showing you here that this is not going into a spirit, okay, or a fallen angel. This is going into the king of Babylon. And when we're speaking about the king of Babylon, we're speaking about the modern day Babylon, okay, not the ancient Babylon, but the modern day Babylon, because we know how Babylon fell. We know how it was taken out. We know how it fell. We know how it was taken over. Okay, how I forgot now how it is mentioned, but it is a surgical strike. Okay, basically Babylon was taken over without any bloodshed. It was a rebellion. I believe it was Darius the Mede that rebelled against the Nebuchadnezzar the second, the OG king of Babylon. The main, the one that brought forth the Babylonian Empire, his grandson, I think, Belshazzar, I believe that was his name. But you can read about that story in the book of Daniel, right? Because the book of Daniel actually, highlights and records the story. I think it is in the story. I believe I'm not really going to let me not mention any precept because I don't exactly remember, And even if you go into the secular history to tell you the exact same thing the book of Daniel told you. So now Lucifer is not going into, it's not the name of the angel that was in heaven that fell. Okay, it's the it is the epithet. And let's get that word epithet, because basically all I'm trying to say is the nickname, aka, okay, epithet, epithets, and this is it right here. Epithets, a term used to characterize a person or thing, a term used as a descriptive substitute for the name or title of a person. That's exactly what that Lucifer is. It's a nickname, okay? It's a parable, a saying concerning Esau, Edom, the false bring out of light, okay? Because that's exactly what these red devils want you to believe. That's why the scriptures say in the book of Job 9, verse 24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. Okay. You go into the book of Second Thessalonians, the third chapter, the exact same thing. The devil, okay, the son of perdition, the man of sin, who opposed and exalted himself against Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. So that what he as the most high, sitting in the temple of the most high, claims to be the most high. Okay. And let's get that, because even that precept right there in the book of Second Thessalonians, it tells you what, be not deceived. Okay. Okay, that is Second Thessalonians 2. It tells you that you should, so let's see right here, Second Thessalonians 2, verse 3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, and the man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. So don't be deceived by these Christians telling you that, oh, Lucifer is an angel. He is not. He is a man, the king of Babylon, but not ancient Babylon, but the new Babylonian Empire. Because you know what will happen to Lucifer. Be thrown into the lake of fire, be thrown into outer darkness. It's even the scriptures tell about that, the dragon and his angels. Okay, and the angels that he's speaking about there, the angels and the one third of heaven. He's talking about you, and we also go into this as well, that on the earth right now there are three distinctions of men: the Son of Man, the Son of the Most High, the sons of the Most High, the sons of God, and the sons of the wicked. So when it speaks about Lucifer and a third of the angels, or a third of the angels rebelling, it's actually speaking about the so-called red man Esau Edom and his people, which are a third of men on the earth, being cast down, being being cast down from the heavens, which is their rulership. Because heavens, it has three meanings, okay? The heavens, which is basically the sky that you see, the firmament above Bashamayam, okay? The heavens being the throne of the Most High, the heavens also being outer space. And okay, now it's four. And in a metaphorical sense, the heaven also meaning rulership, meaning paradise. Because when you go into that word heaven, it goes back, let's what, let's do that real quick. Let's do that real quick. Let's go into that word heaven. The etymology. Okay. Heaven, etym. This is right here. Heaven, home of God, visible sky and firmament. Okay. Him in Himmel, heaven sky, which is of certain. Okay. But the word heaven goes back to heaven, which is home of God. Okay. Let me use this word instead of heaven. Heaven. And it's the same word, heaven, even port or harbor. Okay. And this is half. Okay, half or half, which is the sea. Okay, so this is where the word heaven goes back to. It goes back to the English word or the Norse word, Old English. Have. I don't know how to pronounce that, but have, which or half, which means the sea, or in a metaphorical sense, the refuge. Okay. In other words, the sanctuary. And now you understand why, and you should know why the word for heaven also goes back to sea. Because the word for heaven in the Hebrew also goes back to sea or pertaining to the waters above the firmament, okay? Going back to the book of Genesis, the first chapter, where the Most High separated the waters below from the waters above, and he called the waters above heaven, right? And he called the waters beneath, you know, the sea. Okay, so the word heaven is basically of the sea, or which pertains to the sea, Bashamayam, the heavens above. But that's what we're going into and speak about. The Lucifer and the one third of the angels. It's not actually speaking about angels; it's speaking about men. Lucifer being the so-called red man, the rulership of the so-called red man, the elites, okay, the international bankers you always talk about. And the one third being the entire nation of Esau, Edom, which are the red men that are on the earth today. Okay. So continuing on, that's basically what all that is going into. There is no spiritual, there's no spiritual angel or fallen angel or demon that rebelled against the Most High. First and foremost, no spirit can rebel against Yahweh Hashem Yahushai because he is the Father of spirits. He is the one that is in control. And secondly, okay, we already know that this actual spiritual demon, the actual Satan, the actual Hashatan, okay, the actual spiritual devil is an angel of the Most High, and he's still an angel, and he's not a fallen angel, and he's not fallen, okay, but he's actually doing the will of the Most High on the left hand side. Because once again, and this is something that we always go into, I think that's Isaiah the third chapter. Let me just make sure first. Okay, so this is the book of Isaiah 45, verse 7. Isaiah 45, and I'll start from verse 5. Isaiah 45, verse 5. I am Yahweh, and there is none else. There is no power beside me. I gathered thee, though thou hast not known me. And that includes that Lucifer, that spiritual demon Lucifer. Because people are out here saying that, oh, there's God and then there's the devil, and the devil is actually completely against and adverse to God. The devil is the opposite of God. That's not true, okay? There is no power like Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Okay, there's no power like the Most High, and there is no power against the Most High. There's no power that can stand against the Most High. Because what the scriptures say, I think that is Romans 13, verse 3, tells that all powers are subject to the highest power, which is Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Okay, and all powers are ordained of the Most High. So even if Satan exists, he's still under the Most High because the power that he has to do, to tempt, okay, to bring evil, to do wickedness, the left hand power that he had was given to him by Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. And this is something that we've always been bringing out. But these Christians out here, they'll bring confusion by telling you about the devil, okay? And now that's how you now have this confusion out here. People are starting to wonder, if this, if how can these two things that are contradicting each other be true at the same time? The answer is quite simple. Neither are true, they are both lies. Okay. Isaiah 45, verse 6. That they may know from the rising of the sun and from the west that there is none beside me. I am Yahweh and there is none else. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, Yahweh, do all these things. So the Most High is in control of both good and evil, okay? There is no, the Most High is only in control of good, and then the Satan and devil is in control of evil. That's not how it works. How Bashim Yahushai is in control of both good and evil. And both good and evil, the powers of good and evil, Yahushai and the spiritual demon Satan, are under the control of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. So continue on. Let's get some more of this video.
And we also know that there are demonic spirits everywhere tempting us and encouraging us to do evil things. There are many times in the Bible where Jesus had to cast out demons from people. But in the book of Jude and in the book of 2 Peter,
and I'm going to just answer this question real quick, okay? And we'll get that in the paper when it talks about the demonic spirits everywhere. But let's just say this here, because these Christians, okay, or some sects of these Christians, they believe that the demons are actually fallen angels going around and plaguing people, but that's not the truth, okay? First and foremost, in the KJV at least, the word demon is not actually used anywhere. Let's get that. Let's type that down. Demon. So okay, I should have used another precept. Let me use the do letter, because the demon that actually bringing out is demon that is inside a word demonstration. That's the demonians, okay? I see it right here, demon. Let's type demons. Let's try demons. And you see that the word demon is now actually used in the KJV, okay? Because what the word is actually used for to refer to these demons are, or the demons that, or the so-called demons that plague people, okay, that get on people and cause them to have illnesses, okay, cause them to go and have mental diseases, physical diseases, okay, cause them to going that telling them to do wickedness, to do sin, and to commit sins against Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. These are actually spirits, okay? Spirits from the left hand side of the Most High, spirits that are being sent by the Most High, by Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Because, like we said, all these spirits are being controlled by the Most High. So, the first precept I'm going to go to is the book of Ecclesiasticus, the 39th chapter, and I believe that's the 32nd. So this is the book of Ecclesiasticus 39, verse 28. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. Fire and hail and famine and death, all these were created for vengeance. Teeth of wild beasts and scorpions, serpents and the sword, punishing the wicked to destruction. They shall rejoice in his commandments, and they shall be ready upon earth when need is. And when their time is come, they shall not transgress his word. And this is showing right, this is giving an example of the spirits that are on the earth that are influencing or making things that happen on the earth to happen, okay? Fires, your forest fires, these are all being orchestrated by Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Famine, death, even death, there are spirits of death, there are death angels, okay? And one of the greatest death angels in this, that is in the heavens is our Lord Yahweh Shai, okay? Because you go into the book of, I believe that is Wisdom of Solomon, the 17th chapter, and Isaiah 66, verse 6, Romans 11 and 19, I believe, or 19 and 11, second Revelations 19 and 11. And it shows you that the Lord Yahushua is going to be a death angel, the same way he was a death angel during our captivity in Egypt. And it's actually funny because the Passover is coming up soon. But anyway, and also he's going to be a death angel, in his second coming as well, because he's coming as that's it's coming in that war, in the spirit of war, in the spirit of violence, to bring violence in this kingdom and to completely throw this kingdom down. And it won't be thrown down without death and destruction. Okay. So back to what I was saying, the demons that the scriptures are speaking about are unclean, these so-called, these quote unquote unclean spirits, okay? The different spirits that get on people to make them do wickedness, to make them do iniquity, to put diseases on them, okay? To cause them to, both mental and physical diseases. Because when you hear about demoniacs like Legion, okay, you hear about demons that get on people and make them, go completely batshit crazy. Guess what? Those are mental illnesses. And even in Esau's kingdom, he acknowledges the existence of these mental illnesses, your bipolar disorders, okay, your, which other ones, I don't really know that much. Depression, okay, your, various mental diseases like that, and these spirits are the ones that are in because of that, and even normal sicknesses. Okay, you have palsy, you have palsies that, like paralysis, okay, what's the other one? The epilepsy. Okay, seizures. Yes, that's what I was thinking about. The seizures. Okay, cancers. All these diseases are being caused by spirits. Okay, a spirit. So that's what those demons are going into, and not fallen angels like this video will want to make you believe. But they're actually spirits that were created by the Yahweh Shin Yahushai. And the spirits were created for this purpose, okay? The spirits are created for the vengeance of the Most High. And because we always tell you that the only time you have to worry about these unclean spirits, these demons, okay, is when you're, doing wickedness, and also, being tempted as well. But that's beside the point. It's not as though, the Most High will tempt a brother with, by sending a spirit of cancer to destroy him. That's not how it works. But the main purpose of these spirits are to punish the wicked. Okay, and that's why the scriptures say that. Let me see if I can get that. Here it is, Ecclesiasticus 39 verse 30. Teeth of wild beasts and scorpions, serpents, and the sword, punishing the wicked to destruction. And that is why these demons exist. To punish the wicked, so that crime and punishment, right? Action and consequences. The action being sin, the consequence being death. Let's continue on.
But in the book of Jude and in the book of Second Peter, it says that there are angels kept in eternal chains and gloomy darkness until the judgment of the great day. So my question is, if those angels are in gloomy darkness, what are these demons and unclean spirits from? Because we know that Satan isn't locked up yet, because he roams to and fro on the earth according to the Bible. So is there a separate group of angels that are in prison, but some of them aren't?
So yeah, we've reached the end of the video, and he ends it with let's go to the book of Jude 1 verse 6 first. Jude 1 verse 6. You don't really need to go to the dark precept to complete that. So this is the book of Jude 1 verse 6, and it reads, "And the angels which kept not their first estate, but left their own habitation, he hath reserved in everlasting chains under darkness unto the judgment of the great day." And this angel that is speaking about are the Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. Okay, because these angels right here are the same angels as the Nephilim in the book of Genesis. And those Nephilims, you go into the word Nephilim, it just means great one. It doesn't mean actual giants. So, okay, not Nephilims, but the giants that the scriptures speak about in the book of Genesis. Now these, now these Christians are making me say, let me see if I can get that. Here it is. Genesis 6 verse 1. "And it came to pass, when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them, the sons of God." So now you are seeing the distinction once again. The sons of God, which are the Israelites or the Adamites during that time. The sons of men, which were the other nations, the heathen. And the sons of the wicked, which are the sons of Cain, the Cainites. Okay. So Genesis 6 verse 2, "The sons of God saw the daughters of men that they were fair, and they took them wives of all which they chose. And Yahweh said, My spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he also is flesh, yet his days shall be 120 years. There were giants in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men, and they bare children unto to them. The same became mighty men which are of old, men of renown. Okay, let's get that word giants first. Because when it talks about the sons of God here, it's not speaking about angels, okay? That's another Christian folly. They want you to believe that what that is going into is angels, but what it's actually going into are the sons of God, the Adamites, the children of Israel, okay, in that time, which of course, once again, they were called Adamites. And this is the word for the giants, Napal, which is giants Nephilim. And that word Nephilim, I believe it should be a Greek word, okay, used to refer to these giants. But these giants is not actual giants, but and the scriptures tell you right here that they became so Genesis 6 verse 4 once again. There were giants in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men, and they bare children unto them, the same became mighty men which were of old, men of renown. And that's what these giants are speaking about. They are speaking about mighty men, men of renown. So basically, these men became, and what I'm looking for, they became, basically famous. Okay, they became men of science, men of great feats, men that did great things on the earth. That's what they because they were Israelites. They had that spirit of Israel on them. Since we already know, and this is a fact, that your bloodline it goes through the line of your fathers. Okay, and I've been watching videos recently, and even these heathen out here, even these people out here in the world, they know the same thing as well because they understand that the man carries the genes, the man carries the seeds and the genes. In other words, the going into a little bit of biology right now, a little bit of science, but the genetic information about the bloodline, okay, and the man carries that. So when the sons of God ban Allah, ban Allah basically, or ban Yahweh, they went into the daughters of men. They gave birth to more sons of God. Okay, they weren't half angel, half human. They were fully the sons of God. And the reason why the Most High was angry about this whole matter is not because the Adamites were having sexual relations or sex with with the sons of men, which are the heathen, it's like the daughters of men, which are the heathen women, but because they were committing wickedness with them, fornications against the Most High, worshiping the gods that were the gods that the heathen or the sons of men at that time worshipped. Okay, committing wicked sexual acts as well because they were going into homosexuality. Okay, they were doing all that wickedness, all the things that you see happening on the earth today. And that is why the Most High was angry and decided to bring the flood and decided to cut down their, and decided to bring down, decided to cut down their lifespan. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Prior to this, you had men that could live almost to 1,000 years. Okay, men that lived hundreds of years. The average, men that most men would always go over 500 years. But after that, okay, the life expectancy went down to 120, and it has been reducing ever since that time. Now continuing on. Okay, I already mentioned everything. I've already gone through everything I want to speak about. Okay, so now when you speak about so now this understanding has been brought forth. Okay, first and foremost, Lucifer is going into Esau Edom, the so-called red man, the wicked that are ruling on the earth today, and his angels is going into his armies. Okay, the devil and his angels, Satan and his angels, they're going into the armies, the armies. Okay, and I just want to make a brief correction, real quick correction concerning what I was saying. When it talks about, when it talks about, Satan and his angels, it's actually speaking about Esau, Edom, and his armies. Okay, not when it's going into Slakia, because this now even I'm confused because these Christians falling, man. Okay, because when he's speaking about Satan rebelling and 1/3 of the angels fell from heaven, it's actually speaking about Esau, Edom, the so-called red man and his armies, okay, not the whole Edomites, because it's also going into that as well. But these two things can be applied, okay. And let's just go to that, the war in heaven. I believe that should be Revelation the 12th chapter. Right, this is right here. Revelation 12 verse 7. And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels. And this is going into the war that will happen when our Lord Yahushua returns. And these devils, the dragon, which is the beast that is ruling on the earth today, NATO and the EU, they will send all their armies, all their forces against our Lord Yahushua, and they will be completely wiped out. Revelation 12, verse 8, and prevailed not, so they did not succeed in their fight because they were completely wiped out, completely decimated. Neither was their place found anymore in heaven. So they are going to be cast down, the Space Force, the ISS, the International Space Station, the different forces that Esau set up in outer space to try to intercept our Lord Yahushua are going to be cast down to the earth, and also even more so when that happens, when that World War III happens, okay, because this right here, this war in heaven is the highlight of World War III. You think about World War II, you always think about the US soldiers storming the beaches of Normandy. Well, guess what? In World War III, this fight, okay, this conflict in outer space between Esau Edom Space Force and Michael, the Michael and the hosts of heaven coming in those chariots, those UFOs, that will be the highlight of World War III. And after the armies of Esau Edom is cast down, is destroyed, the rulership of Esau Edom is next, because as soon as those soldiers fall, who else will be left to protect Esau Edom from their coming destruction? So now Revelation 12 verse 9. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent, they call the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels are cast out with him. And this is what makes people believe that, that Satan is some kind of fallen angel. But that's not the case, okay? Because what this is going into once again, and let's get this word devil, so I'll make it completely clear for everybody, okay? Let's get that word devil. Let's get that word devil. And this is the word devil right here.
Strong's G 1228. Diabolos. Diabolos.
And the word devil, prone to slander, slanderous, accusing falsely. A calumniator, false accuser, slanderer. Metaphor applied to a man who, by opposing the cause of the Most High, may be said to act the part of the devil or side with him. And that word diablos, you see the usage here, devil, false accuser, slanderer, and in no place does it mention the devil being a spirit or an angel or a demon or anything like that, but it's going into him being a man, and that man is Esau Edom. Okay, Esau Edom does not exist today. He has been dead for thousands of years, so it applies to not just him, but anybody that shares the same blood as him, his seed line, the Edomites. Okay, the red people that are ruling on the earth today, and that's why you have so much wickedness on the earth, because Satan is in rulership, the devil is in rulership, okay? And these devils, these Edomites, they are being, powered. Their authority and their power comes from the left hand side of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Romans the 13th chapter once again. And let's go to that. Let's go to that real quick. So this is the book of Romans 13 verse 1, and it reads, Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers, for there is no power but of the Most High. The powers that be are ordained of the Most High. And that's showing you right there that, once again, Job 9 verse 24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Who gave the earth into the hand of the wicked? Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. So the Most High is always in control. He's completely in control. He's entirely in control. And the reason why he gave the earth into the hand of the wicked is so that by his hands, the wicked can be destroyed. Okay. Romans the 9th chapter. Let's get that. Let me just use that precept in Romans the 9th chapter to clear that understanding. So let's get this. Romans 9 verse 17. For the scripture saith unto Pharaoh, even for this same purpose have I raised thee up, that I might show my power in thee, and that my name might be declared throughout all the earth. And that is the reason why Esau Edom was set up to be a ruler on the earth in these last days. That is the reason why Esau Edom is the end of the world, and the Israelites, Jacob, is the beginning of it that followeth. So that by the destruction of Esau Edom, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua will be established as the one true power, and it will be known, by all nations and by all peoples that there is no power with him. Okay, So that's the end of the video right there. That's all I have to say about that. So with that, through the Spirit, I hope you are came out edified. I hope the understanding has gone out, and it shows that there's false and there's always folly in the Christian doctrine, and the scriptures remain true and without contradiction. So with that, all praises, glory, and honor unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Ha Kodash, Wa Abad Babal, Shalom.